Okay guys, real talk. I've been trying to do just some videos that you guys specifically have been asking me about. Everybody loves to ask me about schools, HOAs, how close the lake is. But if you've got kids, you're retired, you're a nurse, you've got any kind of medical history whatsoever. And the question goes, Chad, if something goes wrong at 2 a.m., how far am I from a real hospital? Not an urgent care that's only open during the hours. And how good is that hospital as far as the ratings? Talk about it gingerly throughout some of my videos, but this one is gonna be focused on just that. So today we're gonna break down the entire Columbia, South Carolina metro by hospitals. Which suburbs have a full service hospital basically in their backyard? Which ones have the urgent care? Which hospitals actually grade out the best on safety, quality, and the ratings? And if you stay with me till the end, I'm going to tell you exactly which suburbs I personally would pick if access was in my top 3 priorities. Now let's get into it. What's going on, guys? My name's Chad Dorman. I'm the realtor, local realtor here in Columbia, South Carolina. I help folks from all over the country, just like you, move to the Midlands in Lexington, Irmo, Chapin, Blythewood, Forest Acres, Lake Murray. And here's what I've learned. People might move here for the cost of living. You've heard me say it plenty times if you watch my videos, but they stay here for that lifestyle. And a big part of that lifestyle is actually how safe and supported that you feel. So on this channel, we don't just talk granite countertops and LVP or luxury vinyl plank. We talk schools, commutes, HOAs, wildlife, taxes, and yes, today, it's all about the hospitals in the surrounding suburbs. If this is your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and if you're already online every night searching Columbia Homes on Zillow or Realtor, give me a comment which hospital you've been to if you're right here in Columbia, and then a lot of people that are moving here and there's a lot of retirements, a lot of people downsizing that are moving here to South Carolina. So go ahead and share this video with them, and better yet, share my phone number. You can call, text, email me. All my information's in the description below. Schedule a Zoom call with me where I can talk to you one-on-one, face-to-face, and we can come up with a plan on how to get you here as quick as possible if that's what you want. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, before we zoom into each individual suburb, because I know that's what's going to matter to a lot of different people, I want to give you the 30,000 foot view of healthcare right here in the Midlands. Let's break it down to what healthcare systems are here first. Think of it like your MLS map, except instead of you dealing with houses, we're going to deal with hospitals. And these are the ones that we're going to. You've got 4 big pillars right here in Columbia. Lexington Medical Center is the first big one, and it's in West Columbia. It's got about 600 plus beds. It's got full service regional hospital. It's consistently #1 in the entire Columbia metro area, and it's consistently #2 in the entire state of South Carolina. It holds an A safety grade and a very strong CMS ratings also. It's got a huge ER, a huge maternity unit, also very big into the heart program. Now we're gonna talk about #2, which is the Prisma Health Richland and Baptist in downtown Columbia. Now they're called Prisma Health, and Prisma is like one of the #1 providers here in Columbia as far as size goes, is Prisma Hospital. But the reason I say Prisma Richland and Prisma Baptist is because those used to be Richland Memorial Hospital, they used to be Baptist Hospital. And I'll tell you stories on each of these. I have stories for every single hospital. I was all boy growing up, and even now that I'm 51. Prisma Richland is probably one of the biggest teaching hospitals we have. It's got a level 1 trauma center. It's got a stroke center. It's home of the only children's hospital that we have here in the Midlands also. Prisma Baptist is a little smaller. It's downtown also. It's on Sumter Street versus off the BullStreet district. Prisma Richland they maintain a 5-star federal quality rating and an A safety grade. And they're great for surgeries and general care as well. The third major player down here is MUSC Health. Now, MUSC, when people think about it, they think about MUSC in Charleston. It's a huge training, medical school, all of this, and you usually go for the best care in the world in Charleston down there. People come from all over the nation for some of the doctors that are down there as well. But we do have parts of that MUSC right here downtown. Many people think of the heart hospital that grew up here in Columbia. It was Providence Hospital on Taylor Street, Forest Drive, going down that way. That is what everybody thought of as the hospital. Now it is by MUSC downtown. It's a long-time heart hospital. It's got that great cardiac history, and it's even more of a community hospital feel when you're going there. Now, MUSC also has a Northeast Hospital, which is a smaller version, and it's on Faro Road. ER and outpatient services as well. They have inpatient services. They've scaled them back a good bit during the transition when they were pulling that back. Now, we also have community and specialty hospitals that are right here in Columbia too. Baptist Parkridge is out by Irmo, right here in my area off Lake Murray Boulevard, the Irmo Harbison area. It's newer, it's smaller, and the hospital has an A safety grade. And there's more about that. I'll tell you about that when we break it down according to the suburbs as well. Now, MUSC also has Kershaw Medical Center that's out in Camden, out toward that Lugoff, Elgin, that area. A safety grade, but a very community feel. Newberry County Memorial is a smaller hospital in Newberry. They have B in their safety rating, but it's a solid small town hospital, and it's just up 26 as well as you go straight up from Irmo, Chapin, Prosperity, that area. We'll talk about some of those when we come to that side as well. Many people have asked me about a VA hospital. They say when I've needed something VA, it's 2, 3, 4 hours away that we have to go to that is a full facility VA. Well, on Garners Ferry Road in Southeast Columbia, we have Dorn VA Medical Center, and it's a full VA hospital, and it's for veterans only. Then we also have 2 big future pieces coming up. The new USC School of Medicine campus in the BullStreet district. Now, both of these new things are going to be in the BullStreet district, and this one's a $300,000 USC School of Medicine, a training facility. It's going to be absolutely incredible too. And they broke ground in February of 25 and are supposed to be done, I think, in 27. But one of the things a lot of people don't realize too is we have a $350 million neurological brain hospital that will sit right here in the BullStreet district. I will talk about that a little later as well. I just wanted to lay all these out for you first on your map of hospitals. Once again, I'll tell you, listen, I do put a full script out, and I have this in PDF format. All the information that I'm giving right here. If you give me a call, shoot me an email, text, I will send you this PDF because it breaks it down by all these. And this is something that's important. You've got to know where your hospitals and all are, where you want to be at when you're doing this. And I'm gonna give you tips and stories throughout this entire video. Okay, let's start with Lexington. It's one of the most popular suburbs that I sell homes in. It's one of the most common places people call me about. Does Lexington have a hospital in town? Technically, no, they do not. The Lexington Medical Center is in West Columbia. There's no big hospital campus inside the Lexington town limits. But don't forget, as I've said many times before, you're talking about zip codes too, not just the town limits that is Lexington. But here's why people love it. Lexington Medical Center, the whole beast, it sits just across the river in West Columbia. It's usually about 10 minutes from most of Lexington. That hospital is the top rated one in Columbia Metro. It's number 2 in South Carolina. It's got an A safety grade. It's high performing in a whole bunch of adult procedures. For day-to-day stuff, they've got that too. But they do have in the day-to-day stuff, they've got the Lexington Medical Center urgent care. And it's downtown, right in Lexington city limits. And they also have a doctor's care and other clinics for minor things. So if you're in Lexington and something big happens, heart attack, stroke, bad accident, you're basically 10 to 15 minutes from one of the best hospitals in the entire state. And an ambulance can get you there even faster, of course. Now, if you're someone who says, Chad, we want great schools, we want suburbs, but we do not want to be 45 minutes from an ER, Lexington is an easy one to recommend. They are one of the safest in all of South Carolina, averaging less than one violent crime per year. That's just unreal right there. They're always the safest. They have some of the top schools, and then the hospital's right down 378, not far at all. Next on the list, Irmo. Irmo is another fan favorite. A lot of people move here. I sell a lot of homes in here in Irmo. I live in Irmo. The hospital in Irmo, not right in town. It's not in the town limits, but it's less than a mile outside of the town limits, just about in Prisma Health Baptist, Parkridge. And it sits right on I-26 and Lake Murray Boulevard, right there at Broad River Road as well. Again, I told you I was 51. I have had to pass a stone before. When I went in there at 10 at night, there was hardly anybody. There was one family in the entire ER. I got taken back. The customer service was incredible. I got seen right away. It is just everybody that I've ever sent to Parkridge. I have people come that live all the way in West Columbia or closer to Lexington Medical that will go a little further down the interstate to Parkridge because it's a newer hospital, less wait, and they get you in and out quickly, but they also they see you very quickly. And that's, for most people here in Irmo, it's 5 to 10 miles, roughly 10 minutes for most all of Irmo. Parkridge it's a newer 76-bed community hospital. It has a full ER in it. It holds the A safety guide, of course, and it was listed as one of Money Magazine's best hospitals in all of America. Then, just like in Lexington, you're also 15 to 20 minutes from Lexington Medical. If you go to Lexington Medical, one's Prisma, one's Lexington Medical. A lot of times you go to MyChart to do all your bills, get all your test results, all that. Well, I have two of them. I have one that's my Prisma MyChart, and I have my other one that's Lexington MyChart, and I've been to both. Lexington Medical Center, you go to their ER, you're going to wait a lot longer because it is one of the #1 hospitals in the entire state where a lot of people are going. And to me, Prisma Parkridge, right down the road, is just as good. So remember that in those. And of course, Irmo's got day-to-day urgent cares everywhere. Lexington Medical Center, Irmo, right there on St. Andrews. You've got doctor's care on Harbison. You've got plenty of walk-in options. So Irmo gives you that fast access to a very clean, newer hospital, but quick shots to the big campuses. If you're kind of buyer that wants Lake Murray plus solid health care within 15 minutes, Irmo checks that box. Let's go next on the list. We're going to talk about Chapin, the capital of Lake Murray, as it's called. Now, Chapin's where we start trading small town lake life for a little bit more of a drive time. Not a huge drive time, depending on where you're at in Chapin. I have talked about this before many times. Is there a hospital in Chapin? There's no hospital in town. Closest options are going to be right up the interstate to Baptist Parkridge that we just talked about, and it's about 15-20 minutes down I-26. Now, if you're staying all the way out in Timberlake at the Golf Country Club on the lake out there, it's about a 45-minute to an hour drive to Parkridge. It might even be quicker to head toward Newberry. I'm really not sure on that one. Now, Lexington Medical Center is about 25-30 minutes, depending on where you are, like I said, around the lake. Now, Newberry Hospital, if you're on the far western side, like I was saying, you're about 20 minutes, so it may be quicker to go there. Locally, there are some urgent cares. They have Lexington Medical Center that is right there on Columbia Avenue in downtown Chapin there. So, and they do have a doctor's care Chapin as well. For stitches, flu, kids get banged up, you're covered right in town. They've got a couple, I think Midlands Orthopedic may be there also. They've got some family doctors around Chapin. But if you want that full ER or inpatient stay, you're in for a car ride. You're giving it up with Chapin. And Chapin's got some of the top schools in the state. It's right there at the lake. It's a small town atmosphere. I love Chapin. They got some great sit-down restaurants. They've got some great stuff coming, 518 Smokehouse. A lot of good stuff, but they do not have a full hospital. You're gonna have to go a little bit further if this is priority on your list. Now, if you tell me you want all that other stuff, We're okay with a little drive if something big happens. Chapin definitely makes sense. But if you're managing more serious conditions and you want a hospital 5 minutes away, we'll talk about that toward the end of the video. We might keep you closer to Parkridge, Lexington, West Columbia, right in that area. So again, call me and we can put out a plan together, and I can show you, I can share my screen with you on a Zoom call and show you exactly where all these hospitals are. Okay, now we're gonna go just past Lexington a little bit in that Red Bank, Gilbert, Batesburg, Leesville type area that's out there. A lot of people move out to this area because they want a little more land and they know that they can get it out there. Red Bank, it's a sneaky good spot for hospital access, believe it or not. Red Bank's a little closer, and you can still get to the Lexington Medical Center from parts of Red Bank in 10, 15, 20 minutes. You know, just going straight up the road and getting there. And it's maybe 8 to 10 miles. It's not that bad at all. So it's a sneaky one where you could possibly still get some land out there. They do still have doctor's care and urgent options on South Lake Drive also, that's not near as far around. So basically in that Lexington Medical Center shadow is where it is. It's short drive, top tier hospital, cheap houses, rather than right there in Lexington or the Lake Murray area where it might be a little more expensive. So if you like the idea of a more affordable suburb, but still want the comfort of a serious hospital close by, Red Bank might be one to keep on your list. Now, Gilbert and Batesburg, Leesville. Let's talk about this. More rural, more land, more drive. Hospitals in town, there are none. These are all rural communities pretty much. You've got Sheely's Barbecue out there. You can go to Minetta drive-through just past Batesburg, Leesville. But the nearest hospitals, it depends which side of Batesburg that you're on, but Lexington Medical Center could be anywhere from 25 to 40 minutes away. Newberry Hospital might be 30 to 40 minutes if you're closer up toward Prosperity and Little Mountain. Now, Aiken is another option, but that's more of a one-off for some folks. You could go to Aiken. Matter of fact, I've got possibly moving. He's going to live in Lexington because his parents are in Chapin, and then he will work in Aiken. And it may just work perfect for him. But that's because he's upper level when it comes to medical type stuff like that. And the company will help move him for him. Aiken, that's just a good aspect for him. Lexington Medical Center has a Batesburg, Leesville urgent care out there. There are some primary offices also. So you can drive to Lexington or Newberry for bigger stuff. So if you want land, space, quiet, maybe some chickens in a shop, but you've got serious heart issues, or you want a hospital in under 15 minutes, this might be where we need to have some sort of conversation. Lots of my clients are totally fine with that trade-off, but I just want you to go into it with your eyes wide open if that's the choice that you make. Now let's talk about Blythewood. With Scout Motors coming in here, many people are starting their jobs here in December with Scout Motors. They've already got a number of their employees, I think a little over 150, 175, living in the BullStreet district, believe it or not. 4,000 plus jobs, 200,000 plus cars a year they're gonna be putting out. I have looked at some of these cars. I may end up getting me a Scout Motors vehicle myself. They are unreal. But this is what's coming, so let's talk about Blythewood and hospitals. Hospital in Blythewood, no full service hospitals. Now, the closest, MUSC Health Columbia Northeast. This is where a lot of people in Blythewood will end up going, right there off Faro Road. It might be 6 miles south, usually about anywhere from 10 to 15. On the back side, possibly 20 minutes. The facility right now has an ER. It's outpatient heavy. Inpatient side has been sealed back during some of the ownership changes. The safety grade has been a C. So it's not top of the class out there for sure. But the most serious stuff out of Blythewood is going to Prisma Health Richland, which has got the level 1 trauma, and it's about 15 to 20 minutes south. Again, Blythewood, you can get to Forest Acres pretty quick, 15, 20 minutes tops. You could be at a hospital in 20, 30, easy. Talking about Palmetto Richland downtown, that comes right off 277, coming off 20. And then of course you've got the Heart Center that's in USC Health Providence. that's downtown in Forest Acres as well, which that's the break off that happened that's there on Farrow Road on the northeast side. On occasion, Lexington Medical Center, if you're on that side and your doctor's there. Urgent care wise, you've got MUSC primary care in Blythewood. You've got urgent care options towards Sand Hills and Two Notch. What I try to tell people is Blythewood is a growth corridor with good schools and newer neighborhoods, but you're not sitting next to a big full service hospital. You're about 20 minutes minimum from the main downtown hospitals. For a lot of folks, that's totally fine. If hospital proximity is top 3 for you, I want you to know it's good, but not around the corner good. Now, we're talking about Northeast Columbia, Spring Valley, Sand Hills, Lake Carolina area. The reality is it still has an ER and it's got some beds, but it's not operating like a full service hospital at all. Most people out here for big stuff, they're gonna go to Prisma Richland Memorial, and you're still talking 15, 20 minutes away, even from the northeast area. Or occasionally across town to Lexington Medical if they're already in that system. Many people prefer, they'll drive the extra little bit to go to Lexington. You're not far from multiple big hospitals, especially since you're right there downtown anyhow. And you've got a ton of urgent cares everywhere. Those are okay too. Prisma Urgent Care on Clemson Road. You've got Med Care Urgent Care on Two Notch Road. You've got doctors care and retail clinics scattered everywhere. So northeast, they've got one amazing hospital right next door, and we've got lots of options with 15, 25 minutes and a very good urgent care coverage. And if that works for you and you're good with that comfort level, makes sense to you, great. Lugoff, Elgin area. You slide a little bit further out and you can hit this Elgin and Lugoff area. They don't have their own hospitals, but they get something of a lot of people, like a small town community hospital close by. They have those medical centers, MUSC Health Kershaw Medical Center in Camden. That's the closest one to Elgin and Lugoff, and you're going to be going the opposite way of Columbia. You're going to be going about 10 to 15 minutes out toward Camden. It does have an A safety grade. It's got a full ER, inpatient, and it's now backed by the MUSC health system. It's got a lot to offer out there. MUSC Northeast is still about 10, 15 minutes the other way. And of course, you can still go to any of the downtown hospitals, which could be anywhere from 20 to 30, 45 minutes, depending on what side of Elgin and where you're at. The urgent cares, they have plenty. There's Sand Hills Urgent Care, there are clinics. There's many clinics in Elgin Lugoff corridor, and there's plenty of primary care. So the vibe that we have in Lugoff Elgin, okay, so you like that smaller town feel, but we don't need to live downtown. But we want a hospital that's not crazy busy and not an hour away. If that's you, Lugoff Elgin Camden Hospital is a pretty comfortable setup. So it's not bad at all. If you're living downtown, Shandon, Rosewood, Forest Acres, any of these areas, again, you're in Columbia city limits. Basically got your pick from Prisma Richland, Prisma Baptist. You've got MUSC Health right there in Forest Acres, right there on Forest Drive. You've got the VA that is over there off Garners Ferry Road. You've got so many different ones that you can go to. Now remember, I've always said 90 to 95% of most people that move to Columbia move to the suburbs. They are not in the city limits. One of the reasons you don't see many new builds at all in downtown, you see a lot of new houses converting. Shandon is beautiful to walk down there. So is Rosewood. You're near that college life, but there are rentals and stuff as well. But all of that, there's not new builds because it's saturated. This is downtown. It's not where most people move to. If you want one of those nice ranch style homes, even a 2-story, one of the smaller homes that is downtown, and Forest Acres is an incredible area, and Fort Jackson is right there as well, and you're close to 77, you're close to I-20, you're central, you've got 26 going out of there as well. You can take 26 to Charleston and 95. You've got so many different avenues that you can go to because Columbia is centrally located that many people are moving and they're updating these houses, staying downtown, and they love that downtown experience. All these hospitals downtown have that 5 star quality feel. I had viral encephalitis, and the Children's Hospital is in Palmetto Richland also. I had viral encephalitis when I was 12 years old, and I started at Baptist. I switched, which was Richland Memorial then, that's Prisma Richland, and they have the Children's Hospital out there. I had neurologists coming from across the country looking at my case. I went into 2 different comas and about passed away then too, and it was one of the finest facilities there is out there. Now, if when I had COVID in 21, if I would have needed to go to certain other equipment, it wasn't even at Lexington Medical Center. I would have had to have been ambulanced to Prisma Richland there for the equipment they have, because they have the #1 trauma unit in the city as well. So keep those things in mind anywhere that you're downtown. Now, of course, there's urgent cares and doc centers all throughout downtown as well too. So you have a huge array of stuff that you can do downtown and many options. So many people are really enjoying those options when it comes to, they would prefer to be downtown. Now let's give a couple special mentions out there that we're talking about. And I've talked about these throughout this video, but just to give you a couple shout outs, Prisma Health Children's Hospital is downtown. It's a hospital within a hospital at Prisma Richland. Dedicated to pediatric care, NICUs, pediatric ICU, children's ER. It's the only children's hospital in the entire Midlands. So if you've got medically complex kids, or you just want to know there's a serious pediatric facility, this is a huge plus for the Columbia area. Now, another special mention, again, the Dorn VA Medical Center. People ask me all the time too, am I near a VA full service hospital? Now, if you're a veteran, that's a big deal. And it's got all that stuff: primary care, specialty clinics, mental health, ER for eligible veterans. So suburbs like Rosewood, Shandon, Southeast Columbia, even parts of Lexington Northeast, they all feed into that Dorn VA within 15 to 30 minutes. Now, the new USC BullStreet Medical Campus and Brain Hospital, that's huge. USC's building that new medical facility that's already broke ground, but the $350 million neurological brain hospital, that center is going to focus on strokes, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, brain injuries, the whole nervous system. What does that mean for you in plain English? More specialists concentrating in Columbia, more research, innovation, clinical trials, and Columbia growing even more as a medical hub for this state. So the healthcare picture is very strong here. It's trending up, not down. You might be thinking, Chad, it's great information, but just tell me, where would you live if hospital access was a big deal to you? I want a top hospital within 10 to 15 minutes. That's #1. I'd be looking hard at Lexington, West Columbia, Casey, Irmo, near Parkridge. I'm 5 minutes from Parkridge. Forest Acres, Shandon, Rosewood, any of those, you want to be within 5 to 10 minutes. That's where you want to be. #2, let's say I'm okay with 20, 30 minutes for bigger health care, but I want urgent care close to a hospital, but with a suburban vibe. Here's what we're talking: Chapin, Red Bank, Blythewood, Northeast Columbia, Elgin, Lugoff, Newberry, Prosperity. You've got good urgent care access, community hospitals, and solid runs into the bigger systems when you need them. Now, let's say you're looking at #3. I want land and peace, and I know I'm trading distance for that. Okay, these are your Gilbert, Batesburg, Leesville, Hopkins, some of the more rural stretches around the edges. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. We just plan for it, and we make sure everybody in the house understands what that looks like in an emergency. Now, here's the bottom line to all my clients. Don't pick a suburb off Zillow pictures alone. Pick it based on your stage of life, health needs, commute, schools, and lifestyle. Hospitals are a big piece of that puzzle, especially if you got kids, you're caring for your aging parents, you've got a heart history, stroke history, or chronic conditions, or you just want the peace of mind. Now, if you're thinking seriously about moving to any of the Midlands, here's what I need you to do next. Call me. text me. Subscribe to my channel so you can be the first to get this information when I put it out. I will gladly send you this entire PDF, because if you're listening through this and you're not taking notes like you did in class years ago, you're going to forget most all this. I will help you come up with a hospital plan, period. Even when we move, just ask me. I'll gladly do it. Shoot me that email. Book that Zoom call. I'll share my screen. We'll look at maps. We'll look at hospitals. We'll do all of that. And we'll look for homes in your budget with a hospital nearby. And we can map all this out, like I said. Now, please hit that like button. If you know somebody that's looking for things like this, they need that hospital information, hit that share button. Leave me a comment. What experiences have you guys, I've told you some of mine, what experiences have you guys had right here in the Midlands of South Carolina when it comes to hospitals? I answer every comment, every text, and every call, and it is me that does it. I'm Chad, I'm your Columbia Realtor, and I'll see you in the next one.